Alright, for our topic today, we will discuss the supply. So last meeting, napag-usapan natin the law of demand. Since the topic is law of demand and supply, so hinati ko siya into two topics. Yung isa, pinag-usapan natin yung demand and what does it has to do with the price and other factors na nakaka-apekto sa demand. For this video, I will be discussing to you naman what is supply and what are the other factors aside from the price. Syempre, aside from the price, what are the other factors na pwedeng maka-apekto sa supply? But first, let us define what is supply. So sabi dito, it represents how much the market can offer. The quantity supplied refers to the amount of a certain good producers are willing to supply when receiving a certain price. It is the correlation between price and how much of a good or service being supplied to the market is known as the supply relationship. So it's sabi dito ito yung pino-provide ng mga producers, ng mga businesses when it comes to the demand of their products or a certain commodity. How much these producers are willing to supply in connection to the demand and the price. So, in this video, titingnan natin, aalamin natin, ano ba yung masasabi natin na reasonable supply na hindi nakaka-apekto or hindi naman masyado malulugi yung mga suppliers na to or yung mga producers na to. So here we have an example, okay? A supply schedule is a table showing how much of a product firms will supply at different prices. So let's say, for instance, we have different prices here, as you can see in the slide. We have $2, 1.76, and so on. The price goes higher, okay? For each price, there is a corresponding supply na willing each supply ng mga producers or ng mga suppliers. Okay, so tingnan natin. For a price of $5, okay, the supplier or the producers are willing to supply us or the market, okay, for a price of $5 per bushel, o sabihin natin apple, para medyo familiar tayo. Okay, bushel kasi is like parang tinapay ata to. Anyway, for a price of $5 per apple, the suppliers or the producers are willing to supply the market with 45. This is in terms of thousands, okay? 45,000 per year for a price of $5, okay? Now the price decreases, naging $4 na lang, and the supply still constant, medyo manageable pa naman when it comes to the suppliers, 45 pa din. Pero nung nag $3 na siya, naging 30 na lang, and then 2.15, 20, and then so on, pababa ng pababa. Okay, makikita natin, di ba? Sabi natin sa law of demand, as the price go higher, okay? As the price go higher, the demand goes smaller or lumiliit. Okay, but if the price is low, the demand is high. But dito, parang medyo baliktad ata. So, tingnan natin, bakit nga ba siya nagkabaliktad? Let's see. Okay, so here we have a supply curve and a supply schedule. A supply curve is a graph illustrating how much of a product firm or product a firm will supply at different prices. Okay, so tingnan natin. Here we have 1.5. Let's see, 1.5, how much, or 1.75 ata yun, okay? So 1.75, we have 10. Please look at the blue dot here, the small blue dot, as you can see. For 1.75 per apple, the supplier are willing to supply the market with 10,000 apples for 1.75. Now, as you can see, do sa sunod, no? We have that's 2.25 ata, hindi ko lang masyado makita, no? But it's higher than $2 2.25 ata or 2.15. Okay, for 2.15 per apple, the supplier are willing to give us 20,000 apples per year. So if you will notice, as the price of the apple go high, okay, the supply also goes higher. So how is that possible? So tingnan natin, ano ba yung mga reasons kung bakit pagtaas ng presyo, pagtaas din ng supply. Let's see. Okay, so sabi dito, the law of supply states that there is a positive relationship between price and quantity of a good supplied. So, yun naman pala, okay? Kung dun sa topic natin previously for the law of demand, okay? Di ba sabi dun, the demand and the price are inversely proportionate. Ibig sabihin, they are in the opposite direction. If the demand, that's a generally speaking, pero sabi ko nga, sometimes, the price or the demand or the price doesn't affect the demand, but we are talking about a general situation wherein the price can really affect the demand. Diba sabi dun sa demand and price, if the price go higher, the demand will shift to the left or it will decrease, and if the price will go lower, the demand will shift to the right or the demand will increase naman. But in this case, it's the opposite. Okay, there is a positive relationship between the price and the supply. If the price of a certain commodity, yun nga sa example natin kanina, if the price of an apple is $5 or 5 pesos per apple, no? Then the supply that these suppliers are willing to supply the market will be higher. Bakit? Syempre, that would be a good opportunity for them na kumbaga i-grab yung opportunity na mataas yung presyo ng bili. Kumbaga, people are willing to spend that much for a price of an apple for $5. So let's grab this opportunity kasi in that way mas kikita tayo. Diba? So naintindihan nyo na, no? Kasi, syempre, ikaw, as supplier, syempre, gusto mo ay mas malaki yung bili sa produkto mo. No? And if you will happen to notice here, okay, when the price goes smaller, $2 na lang or 1.75, okay, so hindi na. Kumbaga, with the price of 1.75 per apple, hindi na willing mag-supply kasi masyado nang mababa yung mababa yung presyo ng apple for these producers to supply us or to supply the market. Baka kasi lugi pa sila for the production. Or baka lugi pa sila sa pagsusupply ng mansanas sa market. Syempre, di ba? Ang dami din ng expenses aside from harvesting, delivery, so machinery, so lahat 'yon ay mag-accumulate into expenses para masupplyan yung market ng apple. Now, dun sa 1.75 na presyo ng apple, okay, baka naman baka hindi na supplyan kasi masyado na lugi, masyado na mababa ang kuha or ang bili ng mga tao for the apple. Or siguro there are sometimes na magkaka-connect din naman yan Bakit bumaba yung presyo ng apple? Siguro nagkaroon ng oversupply, di ba? Kasi di ba sabi natin, if the supply is higher than the demand, okay, there will be a possibility na bumaba yung presyo. Okay? So, dito nga, bumaba ang presyo. Baka naman nagkaroon ng overproduction or oversupply ng apple. So, mangyayari, bawasan muna natin yung production ng apple o yung pagsusupply ng apple kasi masyado na mababa yung kuha sa atin. Baka malugi lang tayo na malugi. Whereas, pag tumaas naman yung presyo, okay, pag tumaas yung presyo, ibig sabihin, the demand is higher than the supply. Okay, so that would be a good opportunity for us para i-continue yung pagsusupply ng product na to kasi ang lakas ng demand pala nito. And at the same time, ang laki din ng presyo. Kumbaga, people are willing to buy these products at high prices. So let's continue to supply these products. So ganun lang siya, no? Siya positively there's a positive relation between the price and the supply. As being stated here. Okay, so sabi na nga dito, sabi ko kanina, there are different aspects pa or different determinants aside from the price na pwede maka-apekto sa supply. Okay, sabi dito, price of good or services, ayan. Cost of production, so this can also affect the supply. How much can we supply? Baka tumataas na masyado yung cost of production, di maapektuhan din yung supply. In that case, pag naapektuhan yung supply, medyo bababa yung supply. In that case, bababa ang supply, halimbawa mataas pa rin yung demand, mahal nga yung cost of production. So doon na ngayon papasok yung pagtaas ng presyo. Diba? Kasi nalimatahan yung pagsusupply kasi nga taas ang cost of production and taas pa rin ang demand. Okay, so the price will be higher because the demand is great, yung supply nababawasan. The price of related products, so competition. Siyempre, if you are a producer of a certain product na merong competitor or meron kang competition, di ba? So syempre, people have choices na bilhin yung iba na kapareho din ng iyong produkto. So there will be chances na maapektuhan or baka mabawasan yung demand sa'yo. Therefore, if the demand decreases, syempre, the supply can also decrease. Ganun lang naman yun. No? Okay, so sabi dito, we have changes in supply versus changes in quantity supplied. A change in supply is not the same as a change in quantity supplied. So here, as you can see, increasing yung price sa left side. The yellow arrow marks an increasing price, no? And the horizontal line is the quantity, and the curve here or the line going up or slope is the supply. So tingnan natin. For a price of 0, no? For a price of 0, nag-jump siya or nag-increase siya into sabihin natin na volume. Kasi nag-increase yung price dito, ito here. As you can see the yellow dots, nag-increase yung price. Therefore, nag-increase din yung supply. Now, change in supply versus change in quantity supplied. When supply shifts to the right, supply increases. This causes quantity supplied to be greater than it was prior to the shift for each and every price level. Okay, sabi dito, supply shifts to the right, supply increases. Parang ganun din sa demand, sa law of demand. Okay, if it shifts to the right, the demand also increases. Pero inversely proportion siya dun sa sa price. Dito kasi positively related. As the price go higher, the supply also goes higher. As you can see here, ayan. So we have change in supply versus change in quantity supplied. So sabi dito, change in price of a goods or service leads to change in quantity supplied or movement along the curve. So change in price of a good or service leads to change in quantity supplied or movement along the curve. Yung nga sabi ko nga kanina, if there will be changes in your price or if there will be changes in the price of an apple, no? So the tendency is the quantity supplied will also be affected. Gaya nga doon sa example natin kanina, doon sa apple, no? Nung tumataas ang presyo ng apple, ay di maganda din yung pagsusupply, mataas din. Pero nung bumaba na yung presyo ng apple, bumaba na din yung presyo, bumaba na din yung quantity supplied. Okay? Kasi nga ay for such reasons, baka malugi naman. Supply ka ng supply, ay mababa naman yung kuha sa'yo, baka malaki pa yung pinuhunan mo sa pagpuproduce. rather than sa bentahan sa market, malulugi ka na nun. Okay? Another one, change in cost, input prices, technology, or prices of related goods and services leads to change in supply or shifts of curve. Okay, so here, from individual supply to market supply, sabi dito, the supply of a good or service can be defined for an individual firm or for a group of firms that make up a market or an industry. Market supply is the sum of all the quantities of goods or services supplied per period by all the firms selling in the market for that good or service. So kung maalala nyo do sa ating previous PowerPoint or slide, meron tayong market demand. So it's the sum or it's the totality of all the players or all of the all the aspects of our economy na nagde-demand for that certain product. Okay? Dito naman meron din tayong market supply. So it says here, as with the market demand, market supply is the horizontal summation or totality of individual firm supply curves. So we have different firms here. We have firm A, B, or C, no? Na each have different capacity to supply. Hindi para-pareho. Same price but different capacity to supply. Okay, so tingnan natin. For 1.75, no, for 1.75, sabihin natin Apple ulit. Okay? For 1.75 per dollar, firm A can supply the market of 5,000 apples per year. Sabi natin per year or quarterly. Okay? Ayan. So, for a $1.75, 5,000. Doon naman sa firm B, same price, 1.75, 10,000 man yung kanyang capacity. Okay? And for firm C, 1.75, 10,000 din ang kaya niyang isupply. So, si firm A medyo mababa. So, bakit nga? Siyempre, hindi naman kasi magkakapareho ang mga company, di ba? Or ang mga producers. Merong malaking nagpo-produce, meron din naman mga small players. So, siyempre, hindi magkakalaki, hindi magkakasing laki, hindi magkakasing laki ng market, kumbaga, na sinusuplayan. Okay? So, magkakaiba din sila ng capacity to supply. Kasi iba't iba naman yung capacity nila sa puhunan when it comes to puhunan. So, this firm B ay medyo malaki for a price of 1.7. Sabihin natin baka mas malaki yung kanyang sinusuplayan na bayan or lugar. Dito si firm A medyo maliit lang. Siguro maliit na bayan lang. Kaya 5,000 lang yung isusupply niya. Okay? So, dito we have 5, 10, and 10 for a total of 25 market supply for a price of 1.75. Naging $3 siya. The following month, naging $3 siya. Firm A, okay, sabi nga natin kanina, pagtaas ng price, pagganda ng pagsusupply. Maaring si firm A ay tumaas ang presyo ng Apple. So, ang ginawa niya ay dinaghanap pa siya ng ibang bayan na pwedeng supplyan ng Apple. Kasi ang gandahan ng bili sa Apple pala. Halimbawa, after 5 months, gumanda yung bentahan ng Apple. Demand, ang lakas ng demand. Siyempre, sabi ko nga, pag malakas ang demand, mataas din yung presyo. Okay? So, tataasan mo ngayon yung supply kasi ang taas ang demand, pag mataas ang demand, people are willing to buy for a higher price. Siyempre, sasabayan mo ngayon ng supply yun. Kasi that would be the time naman na kumita ka pa rin na mas malaki. Diba? So, ang ginawa ni firm A ay naghanap siguro ng another place or isa pa uling bayan para makapag-supply kasi ang ganda ng bentahan, $3. O, ayan. So, naging 10,000 na ngayon siya. Nung nag-$3 na yung Apple, he can produce or he can supply the community or the market with 10,000 apples. Ganun din si firm B. Nag-3,000. So, good opportunity for them. Ayan, so nag-30,000 din siya. Si firm C, ganun din. Nag-25,000 naman siya. So, tumaas din for a total of 65,000. Okay, so that is the market supply. Kung meron tayong demand supply, meron din tayong market supply. Okay, so that concludes the supply analysis, no? or the supply, what is the relation of supply to prices, and other factors such as cost of production, price of competitor. Okay, so iba't ibang factors siya or determinants na nakakapekto sa dami ng supply or how much are these producers are willing to supply the market when it comes to pricing, cost of production, prices of the competitors. So yun, so with that, I hope you understand something sa video na to, and see you on my next video. Thank you.